Hello, I'm meteorologist Don Lures, and thank you for joining us for this edition of Weather Awareness. Well, it is that time of year as the seasons change that flu season also begins to kick on in, and to help us cover that and maybe give you some tips on how you can prevent yourself from being a victim of the flu, or certainly how to deal with it if you do find yourself having the flu. We're joined by Oran Bethea, nurse practitioner at Dillon Family Medicine. Welcome, Oran.
Hi, thank you, Don, for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for coming. Flu season is kind of scary in some ways because so many people hear about the flu, they hear about flu shots, they're not sure what to do. Let's start first about what exactly is the flu?
The flu is an influenza virus. It is an airborne virus. It can be spread from individual to individual by infected sputum whenever someone coughs or whenever someone sneezes. It also can be spread by touching contaminated surfaces.
And that's probably part of the problem right there, because during the winter season especially, so many people are inside, packed together, and if one person has the flu, you have a pretty good chance of passing that on. So the first tip I would imagine is if you do think you have the flu, kind of get yourself out of circulation.
Yes, sir. Also have a flu test. We can test for the common strands of flu, which is influenza A and influenza B in our area.
Okay, I was going to ask you that too. How do you know you have the flu and not just a cold? Is that test you're talking about?
The test that I'm talking about, because there are many viruses that mimic the flu, and the cold is a virus, but it is not the flu virus. So you would have to have the appropriate flu swab.
Yeah. One thing that always has surprised me, and well, it's not surprising more because I know it, but it did surprise me initially, is that the flu actually has fatalities and people that actually die from the flu. How is that? It really can be that serious?
It can, and I'll explain it to you. So the key to understanding influenza vaccine and its production, first you have to have an idea about the influenza virus and how it mutates or how it changes.
Right.
There are several strands of the flu, and of course we can't vaccinate against every strand, but we vaccinate against the most common strands of the flu, and the vaccine can provide protection against other strands of the flu. People who are vulnerable or high-risk population include pregnant women, people over the age of 65, children 5 years, and especially under 2 years of age, people with chronic diseases such as asthma, COPD, heart disease, kidney disease, people who are obese or have a weakened immune system or at high risk of developing complications from the flu.
And the best way to prevent the flu is the flu shot, is that true?
Is to have the flu vaccination. With the pregnant women, if she is vaccinated for the flu vaccine, it induces passive immunity in utero in the fetus, and it protects the baby against the flu virus for at least 6 months after birth.
Oh, I've never heard that. That's very interesting. The fear some people have about the flu shot, I get one myself, but sometimes I have a hard time convincing other people to get it because they say, if I get a flu shot, it might give me the flu. That is not going to be the issue, right?
I've heard many people say that, Don, but the flu vaccine that is recommended by the World Health Organization is a trivalent flu vaccine, and that vaccine,
what does that mean?
I'll tell you what it means. That trivalent flu vaccine, it has 3 flu-like viruses in it. First is H1N1 virus, virus-like. The second one is H3N2 virus-like, and the third is the Colorado virus-like. These are the 3 typical flus in our area according to the World Health Organization. So this trivalent vaccine vaccinates against those common strands of flu to try to help eliminate flu in the population. Many people may feel, I took the vaccine, now I have the flu. But this is what happens. The person could have been exposed to the flu virus before he took the vaccine. It takes at least 2 weeks for the immune system to launch a response against the flu. Launch a response to the flu vaccine. So he could have been exposed to something within that 2 weeks.
Right.
Could have been exposed to the flu within that 2 weeks.
Right.
This virus is an inactivated virus. Therefore, it should not have the capacity to cause disease.
Very good. So the bottom line is get a flu shot, right?
Get a flu shot. If you are a candidate, if you do not have contraindications, some of the contraindications against flu vaccines is Guillain-Barré. That's a neurological disorder that causes paralysis. If you've had a reaction to the flu vaccine before, it used to be those with egg allergies could not have the flu vaccine, but talk to your provider before you receive the vaccine.
Right. And speaking of providers, I want to welcome you. You're new at Dillon Family Medicine.
I am.
I've known the crew over there for a number of years because working for Hospice Care of South Carolina, we've worked with many of the doctors there. You're on a good team, that's for sure.
Really great team. I love it there.
Are you new to Dillon County, or?
I'm from Lakeview, so I've been in
Okay.
Dillon County all my life.
Well, that's good to know. And if folks want to get in touch with you, you are now the nurse practitioner at Dillon Family Medicine.
Yes, sir.
And welcome to take new patients, I assume.
Yes, I am taking new patients.
Very good. Well, good luck with that. Congratulations on joining the team at Dillon Family Medicine. And one more question about the flu. If you think you have the symptoms and you think, I'm just too sick to go to the doctor, should they try to get in to see you anyway?
You should try to come in to see me, and I'll tell you the symptoms to look for. You may have cough, runny nose, muscle ache, fever, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. You should come in and see a medical provider, and we can swab for the flu. The flu is a virus. Of course, there is no cure for the virus. Usually it's self-limiting. 5 to 7 days, you should start to feel better. You treat the symptoms. However, there are severe complications associated with the flu, such as pneumonia, encephalopathy, that is swelling of the brain, organ failure. So if you have flu-like symptoms and they progress and you do not get better, you deteriorate, you start having uncontrolled vomiting, a fever that will not go away, respiratory distress, you need to seek emergency care and you need to seek your provider before the symptoms get that bad.
Right. And I said that was my last question, but I did think of one more I wanted to ask you. The treatment for the flu, is that still the prescription that you pick up at the drugstore and it kind of shortens the flu period?
There is a medication that can shorten the duration of the flu, and so we have used that medication.
And welcome again to your new job at Dillon Family Medicine. You're new to Dillon County, or have you been here for a long time?
I'm from Lakeview. I've been in Dillon all my life.
Very good. Well, welcome aboard to Dillon Family Medicine, and if folks want to see you, can drop on by, make an appointment, and thanks so much for filling us in on tips for fighting the flu.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Very good. Orianne Bethea from Dillon Family Medicine. We'll be right back after this. If you are in the market for a car, truck, or SUV, you have to check out Parker's Used Cars. Parker's Used Cars is on Highway 38 South in Blenheim, located between Latta and Bennettsville. Tommy Parker, the owner, has built his reputation by selling high-quality vehicles for 29 years. You won't believe the selection. You'll have over 600 cars, trucks, and SUVs to pick from. Check them out online at parkersautos.com. That's parkersautos.com. Or call them at 843-528-3301. Parker's Used Cars in Blenheim, Highway 38. And welcome back to Weather Awareness. Exciting information to share with you right now. A brand new skilled nursing facility opened in Marion County. We're talking about senior care of Marion in the Rains area of Marion County. And Kathy Griffin, the CEO with that nursing home, is here with us now. And Kathy, thank you for coming by.
Sure, Dawn. Thank you for inviting me.
I just think it's so exciting. Now, I work in hospice, so I'm in a lot of skilled facilities across the area, and people have always been in Marion counties saying they are, they like what's there, but they wish they had other options as well. So I know you've been super well received. How has the reception been from your community?
It's been great. We've had numerous tours by the community, several phone calls with interested parties, and everybody that sees it loves the building. I mean, we did put a lot of effort into that building.
I kind of had an inside look at that, because when I first knew you were coming, I started stopping by and just checking on you now and then. And you literally took that building down to bare frame inside.
That's right.
And rebuilt everything. And it really came out nice. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That was a long ordeal. I know that it took a long time to get it all done because it was so extensive, the work. But now that it is done, you must be proud.
We are, and the time it took to complete was much longer than we wanted to have, and we're ready now though. We're Medicare certified, we're taking Medicare, commercial, private pay patients, and the referrals are coming in, family members of Marion are coming in with their loved ones, and we're happy to be able to keep them close to home. And a lot of emotions go into when your loved one's leaving the home and where to go. And
that's right. And you offer so much there. I know you have a full physical therapy going on, so you're able to handle those type of needs with patients and residents. And coming from the hospice field, you're also available there for respite care for hospice patients.
Correct.
Of course, that's kind of when the caregiver needs a break and maybe they need to be out of town for a few days. Respite care allows those patients to come and be cared for in your facility.
That's right.
During those 4 or 5 days, and that's another resource you can be for the community.
Yes, we're working with Respite Now on that, and we're having 24-hour nursing services that can monitor medication and assist the person with all of their needs. So it's a break for both parties, really. It's a new environment for them. They get to be a part of our activities for the week.
Right.
And meet new people, and then their loved one comes pick those they're refreshed, and things are going well with that service. Actually, it's a good service for us.
Very good. You mentioned about activities. You have some pretty cool activities coming up. One for Christmas. Tell us about that.
Yeah, on December 12th from 6 to 8, we're inviting the community out to come see our trees. We're having trees donated right now. We're between 10 and 15 trees donated by the community. So we've got things like a policeman tree, fireman's tree, just a ladder tree, all kinds of different trees that folks come up with. I mean, my activities director is doing a great job with that. And if you're interested, you mentioned actually your hospice agency.
Yeah, Hospice Care South Carolina. We would love to have a tree and join in, because Christmas season is just a fun season.
Yep.
The celebration is there, and we just want to be part of it. So certainly.
Yeah, if you'll just call our phone number, the 855-573-8466, and let the operator know, then we'll set up a tree for you. And on December 12th from 6 to 8, you can tour the facility with our residents and see all the trees that we've put up. It's going to be awesome. We're excited.
And it's open to the whole community to come to it?
Yes.
Very good.
The whole community.
I was actually there for your open house, and you had quite a turnout for that. That's what really opened my eyes. The community is excited about this, because they came out. They
did.
Numbers.
Yes, we've had great support. I can't tell you, Marion County has been there for us when we've needed. If I've asked questions or had any concerns, they're always just promptly, let me look into that, or have you called this person, or I'm going to make sure that
Right.
And they certainly do, and we've been well received. So we're excited about being able to finally serve the community.
And another thing I wanted to ask you about, being brand new in the area, you had a wide open facility that did not have that many beds occupied yet, right when Hurricane Dorian came by. And that turned out to be, speaking of community service, you were there for evacuees from across the state. What was that like?
Very interesting. You're right. The building had just been set up to get ready for review, and we have sheltering agreements in place with the coast. Of course, that's going to be one of the fragile, most hit environments with weather. And those facilities evacuated to us, and we had them there for 3 days. We were 150 plus, and the building was really vibrating with life, and the halls were moving. And of course, that's what it's going to feel like when we're full, but it was
right.
a good test. Generators kicked on. The wind got high. I think we had 70-mile-an-hour gusts and such, so you could hear some things going on.
That's going to be a vital part of the emergency plan when there are hurricanes, is having places for people to go to, because obviously if you're in the evacuation zone and you need to go, you have to have some place to go, and that's not easily done if you're in need of skilled facilities.
That's very true. You got a fragile population. We have the equipment and the things already ready for that type of environment that needed to be met. So it was a smooth transition. I can tell you though that the facilities that come with their staff members did a great job. They were all tired. They had, drove 3 and 4 hours from home and stayed with their patients. So they did a really great job.
Well, that was neat that you were able to do that, and you were there to have those people have a safe place to be. But again, congratulations on being open. Congratulations on going full steam ahead, and we're excited you're there.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
Kathy Griffin, the CEO with Senior Care of Marion in Rains. We'll be right back after this. If you are in the market for a car, truck, or SUV, you have to check out Parker's Used Cars. Parker's Used Cars is on Highway 38 South in Blenheim, located between Latta and Bennettsville. Tommy Parker, the owner, has built his reputation by selling high-quality vehicles for 29 years. You won't believe the selection. You'll have over 600 cars, trucks, and SUVs to pick from. Check them out online at parkersautos.com. That's parkersautos.com. Or call them at 843-528-3301. Parker's Used Cars in Blenheim, Highway 38. And welcome back. Well, as many of you know, I do work with Hospice Care of South Carolina and excited to offer that service to folks across Dillon and Marion counties. And right now we're being joined by Taylor Hursley. She is actually the Regional Director for Hospice Care of South Carolina for Business Development. And thank you, Taylor, for coming by.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, I know you're new to the area, but you're not new to hospice or to Hospice Care of South Carolina. Tell us what's been going on.
That you're right. I have actually been with Hospice Care of South Carolina for going on 3 years now. I've been in the hospice industry or senior healthcare industry for, I guess, about 8 years now that I think about it. Used to be in sales just like you, out there spreading the word, telling people what hospice is, and I was given the opportunity to kind of step into this role about 2 years ago.
Very good. And you've been working with the Midlands and Upstate, but now you're kind of shifting
I
to
have.
the PD.
You're exactly right. I was covering the Midlands area, which is where I live, where I'm from, and the Upstate region, but had the opportunity to come to the PD. So I'm excited to learn a new area and just kind of figure out what this whole region's all about.
Very good. Well, welcome to Dillon and Marion County, and tell us a little bit about why you like working in hospice, how you got involved with hospice, or why hospice, I guess is the question.
You know, I lucked out. I have to say, I have an aunt who's a nurse, and she really kind of pushed me into healthcare a while ago. And I have actually a lot of family members who are in healthcare, and that's kind of, I always knew that I wanted to do something in the industry, but I wasn't 100% sure what. Right. So I had the opportunity to step into a hospice sales role, like I said, about 8 years ago, and I was just so incredibly moved by all the people that we had the opportunity to serve and help and keep home, and really change the way that South Carolina sees hospice care and educating everybody that we possibly can about the great things that we do and the great services that we provide.
That's been the best thing I like about it is just knowing that you've helped somebody that's really struggling.
Absolutely.
And that we're able to come in, offer that level of help, kind of lift a little bit of weight off their shoulders, be able to say, now I think I can handle it.
Absolutely.
And they're in a much better frame of mind. I've seen that with my own family, is how I became familiar with hospice, and now I get to share that with families all across Marion and Dillon County, and that's really the most rewarding part of the job, is seeing that difference from what they were doing before we came in and how things are now that we're in the home.
You're absolutely right. One of the things that I think we say a lot is we allow the families to actually be families. We allow the daughters to be daughters, the sons to be sons, the husbands and wives to be husbands and wives, and we can kind of come in and help oversee that care to kind of take that stress off of them and really allow them to enjoy and have a better quality of life overall.
Very good. Now, what makes a hospice patient? I guess it's the patient that's kind of beyond aggressively curing their disease, and the focus turns to quality.
Absolutely. So a hospice patient is typically somebody who is dealing with an advanced or life-limiting illness, who is really looking to, like you said, no longer seek that aggressive treatment and really just focus more on living and a quality of life, and who really wants to kind of take that into their own hands.
Very good. And what are some of the diagnoses that hospice helps for? I know some people have the concept that it's very limited, but actually it's not.
No, it's not. We help a just vast majority of diagnoses. Basically, any sort of diagnosis can eventually become an end-stage illness. Patients with pulmonary disease, cardio disease, of course, cancer patients, oncology patients, dementia and Alzheimer's-related patients. We help all of them, plus
Very
more.
Good. And one thing I wanted to bring out also was we are there for the patient, we're there for the family, but we're very much there for the caregiver. That can be a very hard role to find yourself in, is caring for somebody 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You feel like you can never even catch your breath because you're always concerned about someone else in addition to yourself. Talk about how hospice can step in and help that.
You know, kind of like we said earlier, we really want to allow those family members to be family members.
Right.
We come in and we provide a lot of services to the family that can really take a weight off of their shoulders, including nursing care. We provide a nurse into the home to help kind of be the eyes and ears for a physician that we have on staff. We're available to families 24 hours a day. We can provide aid services to patients in the home to help take care of activities of daily living, to help with dressing, bathing, things like that. We also provide a lot of spiritual services. You know, hospice is definitely, as you know, of course, more of a philosophy than it is anything else. And so We provide social services, social workers into the home, as well as chaplains to provide a real holistic care, just complete holistic care in the home for the patients.
Right, and you also have the medical equipment. It could be as simple as a chair for the shower, and all of a sudden they can do something they couldn't do before.
Oh gosh, absolutely. Beds at home, hospital beds, wheelchairs, walkers if necessary, medications. We cover a lot of the medications. Absolutely, we cover all of that.
Very good. Well, congratulations on joining us in the PD. We're
Thank
glad
you.
to
I'm
have
excited. I'm excited.
We are happy to have you here, and I thank you for coming by and sharing the word on hospice.
Yeah, absolutely. Hope to be back.
Very good. Taylor Hursley with Hospice Care of South Carolina. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Weather Awareness. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you again next time.